want to give you what I learned from chapter 10 of First Samuel. I do have First Samuel recorded online under Mama Brenda, First Samuel chapter 10, if you want the whole chapter verse by verse. However, I just want to tell you a few things that I take as something to help me make decisions or communicate better with life and how to deal with people when it comes when it comes down to I didn't cut my lights on, so it's getting dark in here. But anyway, a few things that I learned. The story in chapter 10 of First Samuel is God introducing through Samuel the assignment for Saul. So we got Saul, who has been chosen by God to be the king of Israel, and he is the first king. And the first thing that Samuel did, he anointed Saul with oil, poured it on his head. And I learned from that if you're going to do anything with God, he said you need oil. Why? Because you're going to go through some tough places. I'm not trying to just drench you with oil because I'm trying to just, make a symbol out of something. I'm telling you right now, if you follow me, you're going to have you need me. And I want to be with you. And I'm going to pour this on you, on your head, because, you need somebody to help you. You need my help, says the Lord. And after he poured that oil, the man of God poured that oil on Saul, who has been selected by God to rule, to be the captain over Israel. Because they're going to come against the Philistines. That's what it said in chapter 9. And I chose Saul to do it. And he told him several things that you are going to meet. And these are details that you are to look out for, being your first day, being understanding that you are now getting ready to lead people. He said, you're going to see these people doing certain things, and you're going to meet these people doing certain things. And then you are going to meet some guys with some instruments. They will be prophesying, perhaps singing the word. And then the Spirit of God going to come on you, and you're going to sing it too. And then the word on the street is going to be is Saul a prophet now? Is that Kish's boy? Is that the Saul that I know? He said, you're going to hear that. And then your uncle, I'm not giving you everything. I'm giving you some of the things I learned. You're going to meet people that are going to question or talk about your position. Then your uncle is going to come to you and ask you what's going on. And then Saul is going to respond that I went looking for some asses, and the man of God, Samuel, told me where they were. And this is all I got to say. And he did not share with him all of what God had in store for him. And then Samuel is going to call all the tribes of Israel. And then in their face, he's going to narrow it down in choosing who would be the king. Saul already know he's the one. And then but he said, I'm going to do this in front of all of the tribes. And he goes to Benjamin, and then in the family of one of the tribes of the family of Benjamin, he pulls out this tribe, and in that tribe there was Saul. And so when Samuel is telling all of Israel who God has selected, they said, well, where is he? And then God told the people that he's sitting over there in this stuff. He didn't hid himself in this stuff. Now, why Saul did that, I have no idea. Maybe he was overwhelmed with the truth of the details of Samuel coming all to pass in one day. Because when you are a king, understand that you got to pay attention to details. And it could have been overwhelming for him. He said, I got to go somewhere and sit down. And the word said he hid himself in the stuff, where the stuff was. So why he did it, I can only imagine what I think he did. I just felt like I didn't run for this position. I didn't even know this position was open, but I ain't turning it down either. And so after hiding himself and then being appointed in front of everybody, then His uncle came against him. And then after Samuel got ready to dismiss the whole thousands of people who showed up for this inauguration, I guess I might be able to say, and everybody was going back to their home, even Saul himself was going back home. And some of the guys who had the right spirit came to Saul and said, you know what, we're going to be there for you. We got your back. And I can imagine Saul saying, thank you. I need it. But then the last verse said, and some of them guys, there was of Belial, the devil. Who do you think he is? Who do you think he is? How he gonna lead us? And they did not bring him a gift. Can't stand it. And Saul walked right by them, understanding. He looked, okay. And the word said, and he held his peace. I couldn't cut your neck off since I'm king, but I understand. Everybody don't. I get it. Been there. But I might have hit myself, but I'm still king. Now, that's not his attitude. That's me adding that drama to that. But one verse that stood out to me that was hard for me to swallow because I had looked at a lot of the commentaries and what they said about that verse. That was verse 7. I did not understand that verse, and I stayed with it, and I read several verses of people who had an understanding. But because I didn't get an understanding, I was like, Lord, I'm a kid. You got to make it plain to me. I just because everybody's saying the same thing, I ain't really understanding verse 7 of chapter 10 of 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 7 was hard for me to chew. But then he broke it down to me in front of an audience. Because I said, I don't understand it. It's not easy for me to eat this one. Because what he told Saul was when things happen, there would be an occasion. You got to serve you. And it didn't sound right. So I looked up the word occasion. I looked at all the words that I could to try to get it. And I was just going to close out saying, I'll wait till he give it to me. But then he made it plain for me. He was telling Saul that, and it agreed with everybody else is saying, but I got it so I can share what I know. Because I got to live by this word. And what he was saying was, although you're going to be king, there are going to be times you're going to have a pure heart. And your decisions have to be your decisions. You got to make a decision. Sometimes you can't wait for the vote of the people. Don't let people make you make a decision when you know this is what you want to have happen. And he said, and in that situation, knowing that you got a pure heart, he said, I got your back. In other words, I will see where you are coming from, and I will support your endeavor, even if I have to give you the right thought in your mind, because you mean to do well, because I understand how to be a king. Why? Because I am one. I got a plan for you now. See, if you just wait just a little bit longer after I get through dealing with Malachi, then I'll show you that king that I'm going to be well pleased when he get baptized by John. Why I want you to wait? It's because he's going to think just like I think. And he's going to represent me in the way I want people to see me. But of course, this is a practice run, and I'm going to see, since y'all think y'all know what I told you, I told you what the king going to do to you. I'm just letting you know, but let you learn from this. Don't try to take my place, said the Lord. Don't try it. Even though Saul is being introduced, I'm telling you, don't ever try to represent me through a man. You can't handle it. Because all the details that I gave Saul was a lot for anybody to remember. But since you want to be king and you reject me, just know you got a lot of work to do. But I'll be with you. Because I want to train everybody after you. I'm going to give you my laws. And you ain't going to ever have to look for nothing else other than what I said in that book. Why you fussing over who in the White House or whatever house? I'm consistent. You read me today and read me 5 years. What I say will never go outdated. It will never age. I'm king. Don't try me. But I'm going to work with Saul, and I want Brenda to learn from that. Make sure you understand. I am God. I don't share my space with who? Nobody. But let's just keep learning, because it was written for us to learn from. Enjoy the ride. Talk to you in chapter 11 of 1 Samuel. If the Lord let me live tomorrow, I'm going to give you the summary. Again, I do have 1 Samuel verse by verse on Facebook twice. And I'm going to try to download it. I got it on YouTube too, but I'm labeling everything Mama Brenda now so it could be easier to find. But that's all I learned. I might have not have said everything, but I tried. I tried to cover everything. But go look at the details. You won't be wasting time. Have a good evening. How do I stop this again? Bye, y'all.